So this is my office today, while Teresa drives us to Moab.
I know this drive like the back of my hand.
We almost went last night, but we figured it was pushing it a little bit, and it would have been. The van wouldn't have been ready. We wouldn't have been able to pack all my stuff. So we got our cell booster. We got the laptops, got our inverter in here working, which is awesome. Got our fridge in here. I think we're set. We always seem to forget something, but when you're a minimalist, forgetting that one thing isn't as big a deal as it used to be. So we found a 25SS at a local RV repair shop. We stopped by and said, we want to buy it, even though it's not for sale. Can you contact the owner for us? It's been a couple days. We just heard back, and they said, yeah, he does want to sell it, but he wants to sell it through us, which is a bummer. We were hoping to get it directly from the seller so we don't get the double markup from the dealer. But we really want it, so we're gonna go check it out, see how much he wants for it, and put an offer, and who knows, maybe even buy it today. Excited to see that. We knew as soon as we started off to Moab, something would get in the way, but this is the right thing to get in the way. Well, this is even more exciting than going to Moab. The owner of the Airstream is willing to sell it, and we are willing to buy it. Supposedly he has one other offer. We hope ours is higher, but we need to step foot inside it and see its history and all that stuff. But fingers crossed, today we'll be the owner of another Airstream, of 2 Airstreams. Then we got to work on selling our 30. But these have been so hard to find. We're getting desperate.
And if we could find one here in the area that we're already in, that'd sure be nice to not have to, you know, drive thousands and thousands of miles to pick up the Airstream we want.
That'd be terrible to drive to like Kansas, get there and find out it's been smoked in or it's trash or something, and then just drive all the way back empty-handed. The one we would be willing to drive for, or the dealer we'd be willing to drive across the country for because we trust them, is Patrick at Colonial Airstream. He's been awesome. We've been talking to him for a while. He doesn't have what we're looking for, but we're on a waiting list in case one does pop up. But we strongly recommend Patrick. Unfortunately, Denny, the guy who sold us our current Airstream, has retired, and so we can't go through him anymore. We could still go through the dealership, but Denny is what made that dealership so amazing. So hopefully we get this all worked out and we can end up with a new trailer today.
It sounds like as long as we can agree on a price, this should go through. That's a tricky business, though.
Yeah. It's got some issues. The jack doesn't work. It needs a new converter, which we would swap out for our inverter anyway. So that's kind of a benefit to us. And now I know how to wire these jacks really well. But he doesn't even want to pay to have those fixed. He'd rather just sell it broken, which is in our favor because I can fix all that and we'll get a cheaper price because it's broken. We won't have to pay the shop to fix it. So good news all around. Let's hope it goes through. Fingers crossed. It's a beautiful trailer. It's clean.
It is.
Even though we haven't been inside, we've just been snooping in the windows. Well, good news and bad news. The good news is we're going to Moab today. The bad news is we're not getting that trailer. Apparently the guy got an offer from a friend, from his wife's friend, and won't even entertain our offer, which I'm sure we're gonna beat it. We're paying more than they're worth because we're desperate. But he won't even entertain it. He was started to entertain an idea of selling it to someone else, and his wife got mad at him, and apparently it started a big old fight. So we're not gonna be able to get that. Under no circumstances will he sell it to us. Which really sucks because it's like 10 minutes from my mom's house. It's the exact model we want, the trim we want, in great shape, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's totally out of our hands. How do you feel?
Pretty lousy. Like, it felt like things were starting to go right. It was here. They were, you know, they were willing to part with it. Just not willing to sell it to us.
Major bummer. But the dealer was super nice. We like him. He's going to keep his eye out, but there's no way he finds another 25SS before we do. There's absolutely no way. So That sucks big time, but we're gonna go to Moab and ride our bikes and forget all about it, except we won't. But we'll forget about it for a little bit of time. I'm loving my office today. Fender's loving his spot by the window. He used to have to sit down here where he couldn't see out, and we always felt so bad and promised him we would design him a new spot. I realize it's not safe at all where he is, but we're gonna design a new spot that is a little bit safer for him, where he can still see out the window. Hi, buddy. We're learning how to live in a van. A pop top would be very nice. It's gonna get cluttered in here really quickly, even just with clothing. Like, I've got all my clothes in here, but it's really hard to keep them organized. That'll be a challenge to keep everything clean and organized, but I think we can do it. We are at the trailhead of one of my all-time favorite trails. Fender is so excited. You wanna go mountain biking? Come here, buddy. Not yet. He is so excited. And I'm so excited. It's been a good day. Except for that whole deal of the Airstream falling through, but we're gonna forget that. We're right here. We're gonna ride here, up Little Canyon, up at Arth's Corner, and that'll be 6.4 miles. Depending on our timing and how we feel, we may double it and make it 13 miles, or 12.8. But I don't know, we kind of want to save our legs so we can do some of the harder trails this week. We'll see what happens.
Let's get out there before we run out of daylight.
There's Gemini Bridges right there. Hard to see. So fun. Woo!
Are you okay?
Yep. All right. First crash down, yeah. Love this trail. I love this trail. It's so pretty. Behind the rocks, LaSalle's. I'm not sure which canyon that is. That is probably the Colorado River up there. Arches is back there. Just a beautiful place to be. I love this trail. A little bit of scuffed up, bruised elbow from going down, but that's what happens when you play. She's cruising. Hard to catch her. Good job. Too bad the GoPro makes it all look so flat. These are 2-foot stair ledges we're going down. Losing daylight. Great escape. Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! That was crazy. Need a little more air. It's a little too squishy for slick rock. That feels pretty good.
I'm finally to the point where I'm even getting a little bit winded on the downhill stuff because I'm riding like better and more actively and with my whole body a little more. I'm digging it.
She's doing it. Man, look at that sky. So good to be alive. We probably have 2.5 miles left. It's mostly climbing. We do have emergency headlamps, but we're gonna try and get out under sunset light. Good job. All right, Little Canyon. That's to the worst trail we've ever ridden because we were out of shape. And this is back to the car. This is so fun. My favorite trail in my favorite part of the world with my favorite person. Great riding. Wrong gear. Oh no. Yeah. All right, that was Little Canyon. Oh, we're just right there. We got more of Little Canyon than more of Arth's Corner. We're about 60% done. Gonna be a long night. Nice save. Well, it's getting dark and we're not done with the trail yet. We're gonna push on as much as we can and then walk the rest before we kill ourselves. Well, we reached the Jeep Road. The single track continues that way for 1.6 miles, or we can take the fire road for 1.1. We're gonna take the fire road because it's so dark and we'll have to come back and ride this another day. Perhaps I was a little ambitious to think we could ride 2 times before it got dark. I don't think we're used to winter hours being here where the sun goes down a heck of a lot earlier, but can't complain about these temperatures and that beautiful sunset. Yay, there's Fred.
We may have been pushing it with the daylight, but no regrets. Everything ended well. It was a beautiful evening out on the trail.